Imagine a truck that doesn't just move goods from point A to point B, but rewrites the very DNA of the trucking industry. A machine so advanced that it could crush the age of diesel / operating costs and catapult the global supply chain into an all-electric future. That's exactly what Elon Musk has just unveiled, the Tesla Semi Gen 2. Priced at $170,000, this electric beast isn't just another truck. It's a revolution on wheels. Articulated lorry high voltage. So, how does this next-gen semi stack up against the competition? And why are analysts calling it the death knell for traditional freight transport? Let's dive in. The Tesla Semi Gen 2 is Musk's boldest bet yet in the logistics and freight market. Unlike the first-generation Semi, which proved the concept, the second generation comes with refined aerodynamics, extended range, and next-level AI-assisted driving. At a price point $170,000, many expected backlash, but here's the twist. Industry insiders are saying it could actually save trucking companies money in the long run. With diesel prices soaring, maintenance costs mounting, and emission regulations tightening, the Tesla Semi Gen 2 arrives as a perfect storm solution. So, what makes this truck different? Range. Over 600 miles on a single charge, rivaling, and in some cases surpassing, diesel rigs. Acceleration. 0 to 60 miles per hour in 20 seconds fully loaded, something diesel trucks simply cannot achieve. Charging. Thanks to Tesla's Megacharger network, drivers can add hundreds of miles of range in under 30 minutes. Driver experience. The cockpit feels more like a spaceship than a semi. Central seating, panoramic view, AI-assisted navigation, and advanced safety systems. This isn't just about moving freight. It's about redefining what a truck can be. Operating costs are where the Tesla Semi Gen 2 destroys the competition. Traditional diesel trucks can rack up over $200,000 in fuel costs within 5 years. The Semi Gen 2 slashes that number drastically. Add in lower maintenance costs, no oil changes, fewer moving parts, regenerative braking, and you begin to see why fleets are lining up. Logistics giants like PepsiCo, Walmart, and FedEx are already testing the first-gen models. And with the Gen 2 announcement, orders are reportedly piling in. But the Tesla Semi Gen 2 is about more than just profits. It's about vision. Every mile driven by this truck represents a mile not burning diesel, a mile not polluting the atmosphere. Multiply that by thousands of trucks in a fleet, and you begin to see a massive reduction in carbon emissions, a global shift in supply chains. And let's not forget, Tesla isn't just selling a truck. It's selling a piece of a cleaner, smarter future. The Tesla Semi Gen 2 is more than a $170,000 machine. It's a declaration that the age of diesel is fading and the future of freight belongs to clean, intelligent, electrified power. The launch of the Tesla Semi Gen 2 doesn't just shake up the trucking world. It sends shockwaves across multiple industries. Think about it. Oil and gas. Every mile driven by an electric semi is a gallon of diesel not sold. Analysts estimate that widespread adoption of Tesla semis could cut into billions of dollars in fuel revenue annually. Automakers. Traditional truck manufacturers like Daimler, Volvo, and Freightliner now face a new reality: adapt to electrification or risk irrelevance. Infrastructure. The demand for megachargers, renewable energy, and grid upgrades will skyrocket. Governments and private companies will be forced to accelerate EV infrastructure like never before. This isn't just innovation. It's disruption on a scale that rivals the birth of the internet. Rivals are scrambling to catch up. Chinese giants like BYD are pushing their own electric trucks, while legacy manufacturers are experimenting with hydrogen fuel cells. But here's the catch. Tesla has a head start, not just with the Semi, but with battery innovation, charging networks, and AI-driven software. While others are trying to catch lightning in a bottle, Tesla is already building the storm. But let's not pretend it's all smooth highways. The Tesla Semi Gen 2 faces hurdles. Battery production. Scaling up enough high-capacity batteries to meet global demand is no small feat. Infrastructure gaps. Megachargers need to be deployed strategically, especially across long-haul routes. Adoption curve. Smaller trucking companies may hesitate at the upfront cost, even if the long-term savings are clear. These challenges mean the transition won't happen overnight. But history shows that once a tipping point is reached, change can snowball at breathtaking speed. Now, imagine this. Highways filled with fleets of autonomous Tesla semis, gliding silently through the night, recharging at solar-powered Megacharger stations, communicate with each other in real time to optimize routes and reduce traffic. No exhaust fumes, no roaring diesel engines, just efficient, intelligent logistics powering the global economy. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's a blueprint for the very near future. The Tesla Semi Gen 2 doesn't just disrupt the U.S. trucking industry. It sets off a chain reaction across the globe. In Europe, where emission standards are some of the strictest in the world, regulators are already looking at the Semi as proof that the transition to zero-emission freight is not only possible but practical. In Asia, where massive logistics networks power manufacturing hubs, countries like China and India will face pressure to match or surpass Tesla's innovation. And in developing nations, where diesel trucks dominate, the promise of lower lifetime costs can make the Semi-Gen 2 a gateway to leapfrogging into clean transport, just as mobile phones replace landlines almost overnight. Let's not forget the role of policymakers. Governments worldwide are introducing carbon taxes, fuel penalties, and electrification incentives. For them, the Tesla Semi-Gen 2 is a gift, a real-world solution to meet aggressive climate targets. It's not hard to imagine a future where diesel trucks face heavy restrictions in major cities, while electric fleets, led by Tesla, get priority access to ports, highways, and contracts. This isn't just market disruption. It's political leverage. But here's the fascinating part. Trucks are more than machines. They're symbols. In America, they represent independence, strength, and hard work. Diesel engines roaring across highways have defined a culture for decades. Now, imagine that same symbol, but reborn. The Tesla Semi-Gen 2 offers drivers a cleaner, quieter, more futuristic identity. Instead of being tied to fossil fuels, truckers could become the pioneers of a new clean tech frontier. It's not just an economic transformation, it's cultural evolution. Still, one question lingers. Can Elon Musk and Tesla really deliver at scale? The vision is bold. The prototype is breathtaking, but history has taught us one thing. Revolutions are never easy. Tesla must prove it can mass-produce these trucks, expand charging infrastructure globally, and win over a conservative trucking industry that doesn't embrace change lightly. And yet, if there's one figure in modern industry who thrives on the impossible, it's Elon Musk. Across the U.S., Europe, and Asia, major logistics companies are no longer just testing Tesla semis. They're beginning to restructure entire fleets around them. PepsiCo's first batch of semis proved the business case. Lower fuel costs, smoother operation, and significant PR value. Now other giants, from Walmart to DHL, are following suit. For these companies, adopting the Semi-Gen 2 isn't just about sustainability. It's about competitive advantage. Cheaper deliveries, greener branding, and happier drivers can mean billions saved and earned over the next decade. And here's the kicker. Once one major company goes electric, rivals have no choice but to keep up. The domino effect is unstoppable. But what about the people behind the wheel? Truck driving is one of the largest professions in the world. The Tesla Semi-Gen 2 changes that job forever. With AI-assisted driving, enhanced safety systems, and a cockpit designed for comfort, long-haul driving suddenly becomes less grueling. Truckers who once battled fatigue, noise, and constant maintenance issues now step into a futuristic cabin with panoramic displays, autopilot assistance, and almost sci-fi level of quiet efficiency. For many, it's not just a new truck. It's a new way of life on the road. And as Tesla moves closer to full autonomy, drivers may transition from being operators to fleet supervisors, monitoring multiple trucks at once. The job itself evolves alongside the technology. Now imagine the bigger picture. Global supply chains, ports, warehouses, and distribution hubs are already under immense pressure to cut emissions. The Tesla Semi-Gen 2 gives them a tool to meet those demands. Entire logistics routes are being redesigned around Megacharger networks, solar farms, and AI-driven traffic management. In the next decade, the very architecture of trade, how goods move from factory floors in Asia to store shelves in America, could be reshaped by electric freight. And here's something people rarely think about. The sound. Diesel trucks are loud, their engines echoing through city streets at all hours. Replace them with fleets of Tesla semis, and suddenly, the noise disappears. Cities grow quieter, air grows cleaner, and the psychological toll of pollution and traffic begins to fade. It's a subtle, almost invisible transformation, but one that touches millions of lives daily. The rise of the Tesla Semi-Gen 2 is forcing old giants to move faster than ever. Daimler, Volvo, and Freightliner, companies that once dominated diesel trucking, are now rushing prototypes of their own electric and hydrogen-powered trucks onto the market. But here's the problem. Tesla already has the infrastructure advantage. Its Megacharger network is expanding city by city, highway by highway, while competitors are still negotiating partnerships with charging providers. It's not just about building trucks anymore. It's about controlling the ecosystem. And Tesla knows this. By creating a closed loop of vehicle, battery, and charging solutions, Musk isn't just selling trucks. He's selling the future of freight itself. Meanwhile, governments are scrambling. The European Union is fast-tracking regulations to phase out diesel trucks by the mid-2030s. California has already announced its plan. By 2040, all new trucks sold must be zero-emission. With policies like these, Tesla's Semi-Gen 2 arrives not as an experiment, but as a perfect compliance machine. Politicians can point to it as proof that clean freight is achievable, while regulators push even harder for change. In this way, Tesla isn't just responding to the market. It's reshaping the rules of the game. And then comes the money. Trucking is a $5 trillion global industry. The Semi-Gen 2 has the potential to redirect enormous flows of capital away from oil companies and engine part suppliers and toward batteries, AI, and clean infrastructure. Consider this. If just 10% of the world's trucking fleet switched to Tesla semis, oil demand could drop by millions of barrels per day. That's not a dent. That's a fracture in the fossil fuel economy. Investors see it. Wall Street sees it. And perhaps most importantly, competitors see it. Which is why the race isn't just about trucks anymore. It's about who gets to dominate the energy of tomorrow. What started as one bold announcement by Elon Musk has now become a wave too big to ignore. Every new semi on the road proves the model works. Every fleet that adopts it pushes competitors closer to extinction. Every government policy accelerating electrification tightens the noose around diesel. The Semi-Gen 2 is no longer just a truck. It's a tipping point. Fast forward a single decade. The highways of the world no longer thunder with the growl of diesel. Instead, fleets of Tesla Semi-Gen 2s and their successors glide silently across continents, weaving through cities and ports like veins in an electrified economy. The air is cleaner. Cities are quieter. Logistics are faster, smarter, and more efficient than anyone thought possible. Truckers who once battled grueling shifts now oversee autonomous convoys, their role evolving into a blend of supervision and strategy. Oil demand has plummeted, and with it, the dominance of fossil fuel giants. In their place, clean energy, AI, logistics, and megacharger networks form the backbone of global trade. A truck that wasn't just built to haul goods. It was built to haul humanity into a new era. Elon Musk's Tesla Semi-Gen 2 became more than a machine. It became a symbol, a declaration that the old way was over, and that the future of freight would be clean, intelligent, and electric. So here we stand, at the dawn of a new age of trucking. The question isn't whether the Tesla Semi-Gen 2 will redefine the industry. The question is how quickly the rest of the world can keep up. Because one thing is certain. The revolution is no longer coming. It's already on the road. Articulated Lori High Voltage.